rental real estate, not withholding clients who had been in AMT before, they actually, for the most part, those clients weren't impacted in a bad way. It might have almost been flat. And those people also were making estimated tax payments. Mm-hmm. So throughout the year, they were either on safe, 110% a prior year, or throughout the year, you were managing it. So bottom line to your question, did everybody end up owing more? Probably that client that I've just described probably did not.
And I would agree with that completely. It was the clients that really don't come in for tax planning because they've always been covered by what's on their W-2. They were the ones seeing the sticker shock and saying, what do you mean? I've always been covered. And that's when you discover how many people don't have, $5,000 just in the bank to write to the IRS that year.
I think you'll find the vast majority of this country ended up, on average, paying less taxes. The vast majority of people paid less taxes. But it doesn't mean when it came time to actually file their tax return, they were either getting a refund or they might actually owe more taxes, or the refund was smaller. And that really had to do with the confusion over withholding. People don't necessarily realize they had $100 or $150 more in their check every month. And what happened is, by not knowing how to adjust, and it was very difficult to calculate appropriately the W-2, it was real for, let's say, those lower earners, which is frankly the majority of this country. 70-80% of this country that are wage earners were probably the ones that don't necessarily work with high net worth advisors. They are oftentimes either doing it themselves or using a lower end or a lower cost advisor. And I think those are the people that maybe, while they might have owed less taxes overall, when it came time to file, they either had a smaller refund or they actually had to come and write a check. And I think those were the people that were most disappointed, because those also were the people that probably could least afford to make a tax payment.
One of the biggest issue is related to GILTI tax. The foreign companies that most likely will be subjected to this tax do not have a lot of fixed assets. Fixed assets means tangible, depreciable assets. And also the companies, they're service companies, they're IP-rich companies, and foreign distributors.
If you are a business with a June 30, 2018 year end, are you eligible for DPAD and QBI on the same income in the same year? And according to the regulations, the answer is yes. There's a lot of speculation that technical corrections will come out and remove this, but as of right now, the law says you get them both, which was phenomenal for the clients that benefited from it. I mean, a 9% deduction plus a 20% deduction is a pretty good deduction.
I mean, we call it the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. That's not even the official name. They couldn't get the name done right. It was done so quickly at the end of December 2017. It's really H.R. 1, an act to provide for reconciliation. If we had another 30 minutes, I'd tell you the whole act. But really what really happened is look, our representatives spent dozens of minutes working on this. I mean, and we got pencils.
And I'll add that the tax practitioners, we didn't know about the error in the withholding tables. I didn't know until about December. And I don't think any of us knew how big the impact would be.